Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about one of my videos I made not too long ago about the Sony a7 Mark III and the Fujifilm X-H1. Now, I compared these two cameras because normally you would not compare these two cameras because one is a full frame camera, the other one is an APS-C size camera. The reason I compared these two cameras because they both have 24 megapixels. Yes, it's true the Fujifilm is a crop sensor and the Sony is a full frame sensor, but the most important thing is that in my opinion they are on the same price. Now, I got many comments in that video where they said that you can't compare that because the Sony is more expensive than It's not. And let me explain to you why it's not. Everybody was telling me, well, not everybody, but a lot of people was telling me in the comments over there that, the lenses. Yes, fair enough. It's true. The lenses, the Sony lenses are really expensive. That's why I was complaining a lot about Sony lenses. And that is one of the main reasons I left Sony and went back to Nikon many years ago. Because of the lenses, lens selections. But everybody is forgetting over here one major thing, and that is that Sigma announced 9 primes in Sony E-mount recently. Well, not recently, together with the a7 Mark III at the same time. They announced 9 primes, art primes. Now, I have to tell you something. I am a a Sigma art lens fan. Well, usually I say I'm not a fanboy for any brand, any camera brand, and I'm not. But I really like, I rephrase, I really like Sigma art lenses. And I tell you, if tomorrow Tokina will come out with some lenses and they are affordable and they are that image quality, I will praise them as well. Now, I use Sigma art lenses, and I tell you something, I made tests with Sigma art lenses, and before anybody wants to comment and starts, to blah, 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 like usually, I have to tell you something. I made tests, and if you look up in my channel, you can get the videos, you can find the videos. I made tests with Nikon glass, which is the example, the Nikon 85mm 1.4 G lens, which is 1,600 euro, yeah? And I compared that lens with my Sigma art lens. And it smoked away. It's simple. It's just like that. And that lens is 900 euro. And the Nikon lens is 1,600 euro. Yes, the Nikon lens is a little bit better build quality. So what? Why should I buy double price almost? Why? Let me know. If it's a little bit better build quality, I will just buy 2 of the Sigma, and that's it. Now, in some situations, the example with the Samyang lenses, there are some different issues over there, but I like Samyang lenses as well, and they are really good, but they don't have enough contrast in my opinion, and the colors are a little bit different with Samyang lenses. And that's the real reason why I would choose the example a Nikon lens over a Samyang lens. But with Sigma, that's not the issue. I use Sigma art lenses a lot, and I tell you something, they are really good. Now, if you don't like them, it's okay, completely fine. You can anytime choose to buy Nikon lenses. That's not an issue. So that's what they forget. When they complain about, yes, the Sony system is a little bit expensive. Well, it's expensive. It's not a little bit expensive. It is expensive. Sony lenses are expensive. That's true. But you now, at the moment, you are not forced to buy Sony lenses. You can buy Sigma lenses, or you can buy Tamron lenses. Because Tamron announced as well the first zoom lens in the Sony A-mount, which is the 28-75 f2.8 zoom. And I guarantee you that until Photokina 2018, Tamron will come up with the 70-200 version 2.8 lens for Sony E-mount. I guarantee you that, because that's why they started. They won't release the 24-70 or 28-75 just to live with that one, They will come up with the 70-200 and the 15-35 as well. So they will make these 3 lenses definitely for Sony E-mount. And if they do those zooms, I tell you something, those zooms are again better than Nikon zooms or Canon zooms. Definitely. I made tests with the 70-200 2.8 generation 2 lens and the Nikon version. And I tell you something, that lens is better than the Nikon lens, and it's almost half price. That's the truth. Well, I'm a Nikon user, but that's the truth. So why should I buy the Nikon lens? No. Why should I buy the Sony lens? No. If you have money and you want to throw your money out of the window, that's okay, no problem. It's your money. I mean, you earned it. If you worked for it, you know, it's your money. It's up to you. You decide where do you spend it. But it's not necessary. So that's why I was comparing them, you know, because now you have a lot of new possibilities with Sony. Now let's see a little bit, just quickly, let's see a little bit some examples with the Fujifilm X-H1 and with the Sony a7 Mark III. The example, I'm a portrait photographer. I need a portrait lens, yeah, 85mm. Now let's discuss a little bit about this. The example, Sony version. I buy the Sony a7 Mark III for 2,000 euro. I buy the Sigma 85mm f1.4 art lens for 1,000 euro. So I have a 3,000 euro setup over here. If I want to buy the 70-200 f2.8, it's not available at the moment. It's only the Sony G Master, but it will be until the autumn. I guarantee you that. But let's see about this. So 85 1.4, I have 3,000 euro with Sony. If I buy the Fujifilm X-H1, I buy the Fujifilm for 2,000 euro, and I buy the 56mm f1.2, which is kind of equivalent of 85 1.6-ish, kind of 1.6, 1. Something like that, yeah. It's not exactly the same like an 85 1.4 on a full frame, but it's close enough. And that would be again 3,000 euro, because the Fujifilm X-H1 is 2,000 and the 56mm lens is 1,000. So what are we talking about? It's the same price. Now if we speak about the example, wildlife, or not wildlife, landscape, yeah? Let's say landscape. Now if we get landscape, we get a wide angle lens, yeah? If we get 14mm lens, the example, on the Fujifilm version you have the 16mm, which is 1,000 euro, or if you don't buy the 16mm, you have the 14mm, which is, I'm not sure now what aperture is that, but I will put on the screen over here, up, the price of, the aperture of it, and that lens costs again 1,000 euro. Now, if I take the Sony a7 Mark III and I take the Sigma version of the lens, I buy the Sigma 14mm, that will be a 14mm f1.8, let's not forget that, and that will be 1,300 euro or something like that. I will put the price up here on the screen anyway, so you can see the price. Now, there is a little bit of difference, a few hundred euro difference between the full frame and the APS-C. Now, in my opinion, that 200 euro difference, it's not a big deal. If you compare that on the Fujifilm, you have a lens which is 14mm, but that's actually not 14mm, that's 21mm. Because of the APS-C size sensor. Now, if you have a 14mm lens and 1.8 on the Sony camera, that's a different story. And let's not forget that. So that only worth the 200-300 euro extra. Now, if we get a little bit deeper in it, the Fujifilm has a zoom lens, which is 10 to 14 or 10 to 15 or something like that. I will put up here the lens, you know, which is again kind of 1,000 euro, but that is an f4 lens, zoom lens. I tested, that's an excellent lens, great lens, not an issue, but that is a zoom lens. So what I wanted to tell you guys, that if you compare Sigma lenses and Tamron lenses with Fuji lenses, they are kind of the same price. So there is actually no difference, and you get with the Tamron and Sigma third-party lenses and the full-frame camera from Sony, you get a full-frame setup for the same price like what you get with the Fujifilm, you know. and that is an APS-C size. Now, I'm an APS-C size user. Like, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm an APS-C size user, and I really like APS-C size camera. But let's be honest, guy, the only reason I choose APS-C size because they are a little bit smaller and they are cheaper. But if I can get the same price for a full frame and an APS-C, physics, I mean, full frame it has advantages over the APS-C in my case, in my job, because I'm a portrait and wedding photographer. So for me, it's full frame a little bit better. The only reason I was doing it because I wanted to get great lenses for affordable price, and that's why I choose the APS-C. But in this case, there you go, you got the lenses. Even if we speak about zooms, I mean the Tamron, you know, at the moment you don't have the 70-200, but I guarantee you that this year you will have it. So if you then that lens will be kind of 1,500 euro. I guarantee you that, because the Generation 2 Tamron 70-200 for Nikon and Canon, it's 1,500 euro. They cannot make expensive for Sony A-mount. So that's the maximum price they will put on the 70-200. Now, at the moment, we don't know the price for the 28-75 f2.8 because it's still not released, the price. But in my opinion, it will be around 1,200, 1,300 euro, kind of like that. And if you look at, you know, the Fuji version, if you look at, you know, that's the, I think it's 50 millimeter to, sorry, not 50 millimeter, it's 24-70, blah blah blah. I think it's something like 17 to something, I don't know, 17 to 50 or something like that, f2.8, the Fuji version. I will put up here on the screen, you know. But if you look at that lens, the f2.8 lens, it's again 1,200 euros, something the same price kind of. So that's what I say. Now, the reason, like I said, I compared these two cameras because you will get the setup for the same price. And that's very good because you can choose a full frame setup for the same price like an APS-C size setup. Now, what I will do, obviously I won't sell my Fuji cameras. I will leave my Fuji lenses, my cameras, just leave it over there, use it. That's it, but I will buy the Sony camera, definitely I will buy that. So, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I just wanted to clarify this, that I don't think in Sony lenses when I compare these two cameras. I'm thinking in Sigma and Tamron lenses. And that's the way you should think as well if you want to buy for affordable price. If you want to get APS-C size camera, so be it, it's your money, you decide. I mean, I don't really care, honestly. That's only my opinion, and if you like it, whether you like it or not, it's up to you, you know. You don't have to accept it, we don't have to agree all the time. If you have different opinion, feel free and leave a comment down below. If I forgot something and you want to add to this video, feel free and leave a comment down below. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.